This is a surprise for Massimo Cuomo. Massimo Cuomo is a professor at the University of Catania and wanted to organize this conference here in this beautiful place. And at a certain moment was very upset against me because I was excluding him from the organization. Actually, we were preparing this surprise, so at the end I was obliged to tell him what was happening because I don't want to quarrel with such a good friend. But it is a friend in a very serious way, not a friend in the Neapolitan way. He is a friend in the true sense as established by Plato. Amicus Plato sed magis amica veritas. Now I hope it is working. It's not working. Again. Why it is not working? Ci manda la prossima slide, per favore. Ok. The correct translation is there. This is the official translation from the Lib Classical Dictionary. And look, I have asked to my friends to give us the best picture by Massimo. You know, this is the face when he has understood a mathematical stuff. And this is a face when he wants to pull your leg because you have not understood. And this is a face when he is drinking some wine. Okay. We want to honor here the scientific and academic career of Massimo Cuomo, a true friend, because he wanted to help me to better understand science and human nature. You know, we are philosophers of the Epicurean school. We are not interested only in mathematics or physical phenomena, but we try to understand also human nature. And I must confess that Massimo has understood more than me. Too often, academicians at first decide by following their own personal interest and then look for ad hoc, rational and noble reasons for justifying their reasons, their decisions. The more they openly claim to be dedicated to the recognition of merit and to fair younger academician selection, the more they pursue their own agendas. Everybody in this room has met often this kind of persons. I personally met somebody who, after having obeyed to the orders of some dictator, tried to justify himself citing in a hypocritical way the Aristotelian maxim and declared that the following function is affine. It is written. This is an affine function. Okay? I can witness, after many years of personal knowledge, I met Massimo during a troublesome concorso many years ago, and joined academic and scientific research, that Massimo refuses any kind of non sequitur reasoning. It has a fake logical implication where the thesis has no relationship with the hypothesis. Academicians, especially in Italy, are specialized in non sequitur reasonings. Okay? And is sincerely practicing the Aristotelian maxim in its complete form. The complete form is this one, because the one which I gave you is for having children learning it by heart. Okay? But in Plato, you find, if you think that what I say is true, agree to it. And if not, oppose me with every argument you can master. that I may not, in my eagerness to devise myself, and you alike. We had a long discussion about fibers in pantographic structures. I strongly wanted a result which was fake. Massimo did not move a step until we established the correct implication. We are both Neapolitans. You know, the reputation of Neapolitans is that we are not serious people, but I think that this is not true. Okay. As a mechanician, Massimo can be regarded to be among the modern followers of Archimedes. You can see the shoreline where we are now. And is a continuator of the Epicurean school. You know, Megale, Hellas. You can see Neapolis, Dicerchia is Pozzuoli, where I was born. And you have Catania and Siracusa, where we are here. You know, with the Epicurean school and with Megale, Hellas, we do not mean only this wine. Okay, it is a tradition of philosophy. Okay, now I must talk about quickly about what he has done. And I've chosen some of the papers. Maybe he disagrees with my choice. I think that this paper is one of the most interesting which he has produced. We have also this other paper. His interest has been always in finding the correct numerical methods for solving problems in engineering sciences. But I have discovered that, albeit is a civil engineer, which is a problem in general. I'm a physicist, I'm pulling people's leg now. He has understood a lot of differential geometry. He is capable to discuss about functional analysis. So he is a person who has studied. So abandoning the cliche of somebody having a focused knowledge. You can talk with him about many subjects. Okay, and he's one of the most deep culture of isogeometric methods. But our friend Ivan Giorgio told me that following his lectures, he has about isogeometric subjects. He said that all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others, George Orwell. And then all interpolating functions are continuous, but some interpolating functions are more continuous than others. And Ivan claims that he has understood isogeometric theory after Massimo's lectures. Somebody told me that this is the paper which Massimo likes more, but he will tell now it is not true. We will ask him. Massimo does not mind about impact factors, so I managed to get one of his best papers for the Journal of M&MoCS, this one. He worked on this paper probably 20 years. He was afraid that the paper was not updated. The reviewers told me that this is very topical and in the most advanced part of science. We should think about this. You know, deepening concepts is very useful. Okay. But most important is a leader of a school. Albeit the dictators we have spoken about tried to stop him, you know, this is the list of the students who got a tenure, are professors or full professors, and there is also Salvatore Gazzo who sacrificed himself for starting a spin-off in Catania. And these are all pictures which his students sent to me in different moments of the career. Okay. And this is the group of PhD students working with Massimo and Loredana now. Music. But I have some challenges for Massimo, because the story is not yet ended. He must find a method to numerically study this animal. He must find the most advanced high-fidelity music reproduction system. He was in Arpino and disappeared one day. I believe that he was upset against me, because everybody knows that Massimo is a little bit susceptible. So I asked him to forgive me without knowing why, and he told, no, I'm going to buy a high fidelity. Okay. In Syracuse, there is the best shop of cannoli. The infill is granular in the right way. This morning, electricity ended, so was stopped, so we could not eat the cannolo. And in this shop, you can read, there where you hear people singing, you must stop. Vicious persons do not know songs. I have heard a colleague in a competition telling that a candidate should not get the position because he's playing organ. Next challenges for Massimo: discovering new countries, new cities, new natural beauties, and shooting better photos. We have a small competition for that, but not only with him, also with Emilio Turco. Okay. Let us continue our investigation about nature, Massimo. Thanks for being here. Now, both Loredana and Leopoldo will say a few words, and then we go to the hour. Anche Mario. Sorry, Mario. So I leave you the microphone. Poi dopo lo passi.
Dove si mette?
Sigillato.
Ok. No? È a posto?
La registrazione ci vuole.
Cosa ci vuole?
Per la registrazione, per parlare con il microfono devi usare quello che...
Quale? Ma quello? Non lo so. Ma Francesco parlava? Non lo so. Francesco? Ma il microfono per parlare qual è? Serve il microfono?
Ma tu
o no? Non lo so, ci provo.
Ok.
No, va bene, non serve. Ok, niente. I'll say just a few words of strictly personal nature to complete the portrait of Massimo Cuomo, beautiful painted before by Francesco. Okay, thanks. I met Massimo more than 35 years ago. He was one of my teachers during my engineering studies. In the years that followed, he was the supervisor of my master thesis, doctoral and postdoctoral studies, and then he guided my research activity during the years when I was a research fellow at the University of Catania. I held a position at the University of Catania for more than 20 years. Still, every day, crossing the door of the same department, we have worked together and we advanced in our academic careers to arrive here today. Every day for more than 30 years, we have worked together on the topics of plasticity, damage, fracture mechanics, innovative materials, and many other topics in structural engineering. So I don't want to say anything about his scientific skills and merits, because those are known to everyone. I want to share with you here those qualities that only disciples can know so well. I will tell you about his greatness not through his achievements, but through my own experience. Massimo taught me the method by which one approaches a problem, address it, and tries to solve it. He taught me the rigor of approach, the sharp definition of the goal, the need to study in depth, the pursuit of clarity in reporting research results, the obsessive attention to the quality of what we produce, the intellectual honesty, the doubt, the modesty of always assessing the possibility that we may be wrong. For all of these, I sincerely thank him, because always, at every step I have taken, his teachings have been the basis of my success and the recognition I have received from the academic community. And not only from the academic community, because his teachings have turned into a way of life. We have shared all these years, discreetly, all our academic and personal life vicissitudes on sunny days and dark days. Thus, we both have a broad mutual knowledge of ourselves. Our personalities are very different, but I learned a lot from him, and perhaps he learned something from me as well. Over the years, when after being a student I became a colleague, I have seen his confidence in my abilities and my thinking grow through continuum comparison exchange of ideas. This is a source of great pride and gratification for me. But more than anything else, I thank Massimo for always leaving me total autonomy and independence in my academic choices, both in the field of research and in the field of university policy. This quality is extremely rare. Masters often move disciples as their pawns throughout their careers. I have had the freedom to do, even to make mistakes, and for this I thank him immensely, because he respected my nature. Without this freedom, I would have not been able to grow. Massimo has always been a master to me without having been a leader, and for that I recognize him as a true leader. We still have many ongoing projects to share and new ideas to develop from tomorrow and in the years to come. We will still continue day by day our journey together towards new experience and new knowledge. I thank Francesco for this celebration of Massimo's career and for giving me the opportunity to participate with my personal contribution. Francesco wanted to associate this celebration with the convening of so many international scientific personalities in Syracuse, and for this I am grateful to him. Thank you. Aspetta Mario. Aspetta, io ho il braccio che mi trema in una maniera. Tieni, c'è questo braccio. Tieni.
Grazie. Well, I first of all want to thank Francesco for organizing this morning and this celebration of Professor Massimo Cuomo, and to celebrate what he has done in his university career, and he will already do since his retirement is next year, if I'm right. And if I know him a little, I think that the retirement will not stop for him for his research activity. Several things has been already said about his scientific production. He, in his career, of course, faced several topics, different topics. So I admire him for this. I always admire for having the ability of approaching different topics, and always with the same nature, let's say. So I don't want to add something about it, but I'll add some personal notice, and I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to Professor Massimo Cuomo for all the times he supported me, and he helped me in several ways. So I want to start from when I met Professor Massimo Cuomo, but don't be worried. My speech will not take so long. I met Professor Cuomo because he was my teacher of the structural theory course at the Engineering of Catania, and it was a wonderful course. The program covered several topics, for example, of course, elasticity, buckling, dynamics, of course, computational mechanics, and so on. I remember well that also Loredana and Giulio Venturo were co-teachers in that course. And I remember very well the passion of Professor Massimo Cuomo, passion that he transmitted to the students, also to me. So I thank him also for this. Then Professor Cuomo was my tutor at the PhD program. I remember that time very well in Catania, and of course I think all of us remember our own PhD time. And I remember very well that Professor Cuomo was always available and helped me during all my PhD program. So I have to thank him for that, because it's not so common as I supposed at that time. And I think I want to thank Professor Cuomo also for his training activity in contributing to train scientific people who are now involved in our field. Well, I have to thank Professor Massimo Cuomo for several things, also for his support, also practical supports, in participating in various competitions for recruitment. Because when I finished my PhD at the University of Catania, I had already 2 children, so I needed to work in some ways, and I decided to try some competition all around Italy in some way. Professor Cuomo spent a lot of time and a lot of energy in my formation, my training, and I want to thank him because at that time, when I decided to look for some other place, he was not jealous. He helped me, he supported me, also in practical ways. So if it had not been for him, for example, I never would be able to go to the competition in Florence that gave me the opportunity to continue my working at the university. So also for this, I have to thank Professor Massimo Cuomo. And well, as I know him, he has been also always a fair person. He worked hard at the university, and he is the kind of person, in my opinion, that contributes in making and maintaining university a worthy place. Also for this, we have to thank Professor Massimo Cuomo. Then, just to smile a little, I want to tell you a personal episode that was when I just graduated. we met at the University of Catania and the Department of Civil Engineering, and I remember very well for a talk about some research that we were carrying out at that moment. Well, it was, I remember, very hot, it was summer, and we decided to take a coffee while we were working. I remember, like now, that I was holding both the cups with one hand, and in the other hand I don't know exactly what I had, and I poured a coffee on his very beautiful white shirt. Of course, I said to myself that, here you go, I just started by working at the university and it's already finished. But Professor Massimo Cuomo didn't hold grudge on me, so I want to thank even more him for this episode. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. I take this opportunity to extend my sincere and heartfelt thanks to Professor Massimo Cuomo for the patience he has shown toward me over the past 20 years. Thank you for having nurtured me with your enthusiasm, idea, intuitions, and experience. The role I hold today is thanks to him. I am the product of his scientific method and approach to research and teaching. To me, Massimo is a scientist driven by an irrepressible need to seek the truth. Once, Professor Antonio Tralli, while we were sitting down for lunch in Catania, asked me, "Leopoldo, what is like working with Massimo?" I replied, "Difficult, because Massimo is the most scientifically rigorous reviewer I have ever met. If a scientific work is good enough for Massimo, then it's definitely good enough for everyone, and it will surely be accepted in every international journal. Someone once said, is the dog that chooses his master? Well, I have chosen Massimo Cuomo as my mentor. Research is a struggle, and Massimo has suffered alongside me through every my scientific achievement. In every work, his contribution is strongly recognizable and significant. It has been an honor to have the opportunity to work with Massimo and learn from you. Thank you, Massimo, for your time spent for me."